Okay guys, this week's lesson is to do with training methods used in sport. The specification requires you to be able to describe a number of different types of training methods and to be able to apply them to practical examples. So, first of all, we need to know the difference between aerobic exercise and anaerobic exercise. Aerobic exercise is when the body works with oxygen. You're using air. So any activity that lasts from between 20 minutes and 2 hours, and that is low intensity, so it's taking place over a long period of time. So your sports examples would be things such as swimming, cycling, marathon running or walking. These occur over a long period of time, so the body is using oxygen. In terms of relating this to a healthy active lifestyle, examples might be walking to work, walking to school, or walking around a park. This would be classed as an aerobic exercise because the body is using oxygen. Anaerobic exercise is the opposite, so the body is working without oxygen. It generally involves high intensity work, and it's when activities are carried out for a short amount of time. Sports examples might include running with a ball, sprinting, throwing a javelin or throwing a ball. You're not using oxygen to do this because it's a quick action, so this is classed as being anaerobic. Relating this to a healthy active lifestyle, well, lifting something quickly off the floor, such as a box, would be classed as being an aerobic exercise. So the types of training methods you need to know are continuous training, resistance training, interval training, fartlek training, plyometrics, circuit training and flexibility training. Some of these are aerobic, some of them are anaerobic, and some of them are both. So interval training. This involves fixed patterns of work. So for example, working for a few seconds, such as a sprint, and then you walking back to recover, and then you sprint again, and then you walk back to recover. This is classed as interval training. You're working at intervals. It's generally used in team games such as rugby, football, but also in individual sports as well. Example might be badminton. This is anaerobic, so you're performing and you're working without oxygen. Fartlek training means speed play. It basically means changes in speed. An example might be a run for a few seconds, followed by a jog, and then a sprint, and then a walk again. So it could also happen over different distances and different types of terrains. So it could be used in team games and individual sports as well. It develops both aerobic and anaerobic fitness, so it uses oxygen at some point, and then at other points, such as the quick sprint, would be anaerobic. This is an example of a fartlek training session over 30 minutes. So you've got a jog followed by walks and jogs, and then skipping with over various distances and times. Circuit training. This involves setting up a number of different stations or exercises in a circuit format, and then you perform the exercise for 30 seconds or a minute before you move on to the next station. It's anaerobic because you're only working for 30 seconds or a minute, but you can relate the circuit to either your specific sport, or you might base it on a specific component of fitness such as speed or strength. It works a variety of different muscles as well, and it can be repetitive, but it can be tedious, and you need very little equipment to perform a circuit. This is an example of a fitness-based one, which includes different types of fitness components to develop things such as strength and to develop stamina. Resistance training, also weight training, is anaerobic because it's a short burst of exercise, such as lifting a weight. It's used to develop muscular endurance, but also strength and power. Continuous training improves your aerobic endurance or stamina. Examples might include a swim, a jog or a cycle, but over sort of 30 minutes. So you're using oxygen to perform this activity. So Mo Farah and Paula Radcliffe would do a lot of continuous training. Flexibility training would be used by gymnasts because they need to improve the range of movement at their joints. It helps with their flexibility and helps prevent or reduce the risk of an injury. It can be static or it can be dynamic. And the final one, plyometrics. This is a training method that's used to develop power. It's anaerobic because it's short and it's quick, such as hopping and bounding activities and jumping, and is used by rugby players a lot.